Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Tavern. My name is Christopher Lee. I am a concept artist. I've been in the industry for about 10 years now, worked with various companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering as well as Universal Studio Creative. And I'm here today with my friend and buddy, Michael Welker. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael O. Welker. I am a novice Unity developer, a writer, and a semi-retired theme park producer, which is where I met Cress. And we both worked at those companies at Walt Disney Imagineering, Universal Creative. And recently we found ourselves kind of in between big theme park projects and said, like, hey, let's do a project, me and you. Like, let's do something creative together. And we took a long, winding road to figure out what that would be. Eventually settled on, hey, let's learn how to make a video game. Neither of us have ever done that before,
Mhm.
but that could be a cool thing to make. And not only that, why don't we live stream our creative design sessions where we were already meeting twice a week? Like, why don't we just turn the cameras on and share that with the world? That way, other people can see into our creative process. And that's kind of how the Creative Tavern was born. And to tell you more about it, I'll hand it back to Chris.
Thank you, Michael. And yes, the Creative Tavern is a place for all creative people who wants to kind of share with each other what they are doing, where what their vision is, and just get together and hang out and try to get some ideas and suggestions. For example, here because Michael and I created this Twitch. Channel, we've met some incredible people such as Captain Blue Blue, Gentleman Heavy, Coley Butt, as well as Gandalf, who's in the chat right now, watching and supporting us. We got so much good suggestions from them for our game, and it's just a place where we could just all help one another out. So I'm very very thankful to them being here as well as you. And we have a Discord, so if you ever want to join our Discord channel and share your work, which we will be looking at some stuff later after the show. You are most definitely welcome to post your stuff on the Discord channel. And anything else, Michael? Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it.
Cool, cool, awesome. And today is a Wednesday, and so because it's Wednesday, it's actually Michael's turn to share what he has been working on. And I'm actually very, very excited because he hasn't shown me anything yet. And we're supposed to be on a team working together, but I don't know what he's working on. And he's gonna share with me today. So you guys are very lucky too. Ah, this is awesome. Oh, Toto's in the
Yeah.
chat. Hello, Totoro. Hello.
Welcome, Totoro.
Welcome,
Good to have you.
welcome. Yeah. And so, yes, Michael, I'm very, very excited.
Alrighty, well, let's get started. Let's jump into Unity.
Yeah.
Okay, I do not have, I think, quite as much to share this. Well, I say it every week. I don't have as much to share this week as last week, but I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge. Um, so, a quick recap of the previous week was almost exclusively all about Scene 3, which is, this scene that you're seeing on screen right now, where we have this giant sort of like planet, like small planetoid-sized asteroid thing, and we want the player to be able to fly around the whole asteroid. The challenge, though, was getting the Cinemachine rail system, which I can show like one of these here. The Cinemachine rail system really does not like to turn upside down, and so one of the things I can do is I can add another, let me click on this here, add another node. If I move this rail down here, you can kind of see it starting to happen right here.
Yeah.
As soon as this rail
Weird.
goes starts to like turn upside down, the rail tries to like wiggle around however it can to get itself back right side up, which is great if you're using it for, I think it's pretty standard purpose of like actually being a real life rail that you can run a cart on for a camera, kind of like in real life, like the way that they make movies. They use like dolly rails and tracks and things like that. But for what we're doing, creating basically a rail that the player's ship flies on in three-dimensional space and could potentially fly inverted, that didn't work so well for us. So we needed to try to figure out a way to work around that. And the solution was like, well, what if we just rotate the asteroid underneath the player? That way the player can fly on a rail that never goes upside down and inverts itself, but we could still create that sort of illusion, a little
Mm.
bit of like theme park magic in the video game world.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's what I spent almost all of last week working on. It was a really hard problem to solve, and I thought I had completely resolved it, but I ended up having more work to do this week. There were a whole bunch of other things that were kind of broken. And yeah, it was, there were issues with the skybox not working properly. There was also this weird bug where as long as the player's plane let me grab it here. Oh yeah, I also made like a new camera system and things last week. Uh, but when the player's ship, as you can see here, can I hide maybe some of this? No, I don't want to hide that. Well, wish I could get rid of some of these gizmos. I guess I could make them a little bit smaller. Huh? There we go. Um, so the player's ship, one of the issues in the code that I had from the last time I showed you is the asteroid underneath the ship would rotate with it as long as the ship rotated between like 1 degree and 90 degrees. If it went past that, there were problems. If it rotated to the left and went like less than 0
Mm-hmm.
into like negative or back, or basically like at 359 degrees or
Uh-huh.
whatever,
Right.
things would freak out and the asteroid would just like lose its mind. So I had to
Weird.
figure out how to solve that, and I did.
Nice.
So that was a big achievement. I actually one of the things that I did, um, I don't know if I'm really going to be able to show it here. Well, yeah, it. Basically, one of the things that I had to do is I had to create a. Yeah, I'm going to show it because I think it's cool. Give
Nice.
me 1 second
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Take your time. And Captain Blue says,
Uh,
over halfway there to affiliate. Can't wait for tavern emotes. Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah, we're definitely over halfway. So yeah, we're very, very excited. Yeah.
okay, so turn that off. Main camera. So one of the things that I did is I did this little like diagram you can see here,
Holy cow. Yes.
which basically, so imagine that you're looking down on the asteroid, and so this is like top-down view, kind of like what had just showed you in Unity,
Mm-hmm.
and the little black arrow, that's our player ship, and the orientation of the asteroid is what you see in those like blue numbers, kind of going around in a circle from 0 to 360. And I created this diagram to try to like understand when the player's ship is rotating into those different quadrants, what direction should the asteroid be rolling, and that would determine the X and the Z
Uh-huh.
rotation.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And we never need to worry about the Y rotation because we always want the asteroid to be in that same position underneath the player. So we really only care like how far to the front and how far to the left or the right is the player looking. Because if the player's looking
Right.
directly in front, then we want basically 100% of the rotation to be coming from the X, uh, and like none of it, or yeah, 100% of the rotation coming from X because things rotate around that axis. So if X is sticking out this way, when you rotate around it, the thing will rotate this way.
Right.
If you rotate around Z, which is sticking out this way, the thing will rotate this way. So basically, I created this little diagram, this sort of like little cheat sheet here to kind of help me wrap my brain around what I needed the different variables to like what their signs should be, and also what like the magnitude and things like that. It's really just like trying to make the math a little bit more visual. That way I could get my brain wrapped around it, because sometimes without drawing like a little diagram, it can
Mm.
be really confusing
Sure.
to figure out like what the heck, you know, what's supposed to be what. So anyway, I made that little diagram. That helped me figure out how to get the asteroid to rotate correctly underneath the player. So actually, I think so I've got a rotation speed here of 5. I'm going to tell the player ship not to use a rail because I want to show this. And if I'm not mistaken, when I hit play, Yeah, so you can see here we've got our player, or we got our asteroid rotating underneath the player. Kind of looks a little bit like this in the game. I've disabled the skybox because that's something that still has bugs and I haven't fixed it yet.
Sure.
Um, but what you can see here is if I start to rotate the player ship, is that I need the global, not the. Actually, no, I think I do need the local. So hang on one second. Let me adjust the rotation here back to 0,
Hmm.
and just to make this not so wacky. Um, okay, so there we go. And I'm going to move the player ship down a little bit here. Whoops. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Okay, great. So now we've got the player ship there. As I and fingers crossed that this works live in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Uh, as I rotate this,
Oh,
you can
nice.
see
Yeah.
the asteroid will change direction to follow where the ship is rotated. And if I rotate it in the other direction,
Nice.
it works. Previously, that caused a weird bug where the asteroid would just spin wildly out of control. I can even do, full, go all the way around. Like, doesn't matter which direction the asteroid is going to follow the ship.
Right.
The reason that's really important is because it there were all these problems that were caused when I started putting the ship onto a rail and then the rail would turn the ship. As long as it was always turning to the right within 0 and 90 degrees, it was fine. But as soon as it went outside of that, all hell broke loose.
Whoa.
So that was a bug. I needed to fix it. I fixed it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and I won't get into all the details about like how I did that. I'll give you kind of like a quick little preview, because it's a lot of code. If I click on, oops, nope, not that one. Target rotate, no, asteroid rotate. Where's asteroid? Scene 3 asteroid. Here is the like 100 plus lines of code
Oh my
that,
god.
yeah, that gets that functionality to happen and that's not all of it. There's also, the skybox has got its own thing, but this one's pretty small. It's probably going to get a lot bigger once I solve those issues.
Hmm.
um, but yeah, so it took me a long time to figure out all of this stuff. Oh, and this piece right here, this is what I was this is the code version of what I showed you in that diagram that I drew,
Hmm. Hmm.
which basically this just defines all 4 of those different quadrants and specifies, for the X rotation, how much of it and what is the is it positive or negative,
Right.
basically.
Right.
And so there's, a conditional statement for each one of those quadrants. So there you go. So if you ever for any of the developers out there, anybody who's doing like the coding of the game, if you're like really having a hard time wrapping your brain around getting the program to do what you want it to do, and you are visually inclined, I highly recommend stepping away from the computer, and doing a little doodle, like drawing something. Make a diagram that explains what you're trying to do visually, because that'll make it much clearer, in your mind,
Hmm.
what you need to do with the code. Because sometimes, I mean, it could be really hard to look at this and be like, X rotation proportion equals 90 minus ship yaw. Like, what the hell does that even mean? Um, Granted, it could be a little clearer if I added more comments in here, but since I'm the
Right.
only programmer, I'm tending not to, which is still bad practice because this is going to potentially be confusing for future Michael, who's going to come here and look at this and be like, there are no comments in here. What does this do? What does this mean? Damn it, Michael, past Michael.
That's
So I should really
that's
get
fu-
better about that.
that's future Michael's problem, so don't worry about it.
Exactly.
And Captain Blue Blue says, "You know, you got some serious programming when the whiteboard rolls out." Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And he also
So
says,
yeah,
"This is really impressive." So good job, Michael.
thank you. Yeah, whew, man, I was banging my head against this one for I think another like 3 days, um, figuring all this stuff out. And some of the other things that I added too, once I started, because a lot of this came out of the woodwork when I was like, okay, having come out of last week, I was like, yay, I solved the Scene 3 asteroid problem. Let me start building Scene 3. And it immediately fell apart and broke. And I was like, oh,
Ah.
geez, okay. But I did start programming in a couple of other things as I did that. Once I solved that problem, then I was like, okay, now I need it to do another thing. For example, one of the things that I needed it to do is if I put the player ship back on the rail that I've pre-programmed in here, so this is a real simple rail. All it does is just kind of like go down in this direction and then go over there.
Hmm.
So if I hit play, you're going to see the asteroid is rotating and our player ship kind of flies out into space. And that's because if I play this again but stay here, you can see the player ship. He's moving along the rail just like he's supposed to, but the asteroid isn't moving. So that's a problem. I needed a way to get the asteroid to stay with the player, to follow the player. So I programmed in an additional function for the asteroid to basically always detect where the player is and to move itself underneath the player. So if I click on my asteroid here and click on move with target and now hit play,
Oh.
I'll go back to scene. You can see the asteroid is now
Oh.
tracking with the player ship. And so as the player moves along the rail, the asteroid stays directly underneath it. And then when the player stops moving, the
It
asteroid stops
stops.
moving. So
Wow.
if I play this back from the game perspective, a little bit of weird thing going on with the rotation there. That's
Uh,
a bug.
I can't tell.
There was a little thing where it was like rotating in the other direction. Oh, I think I might know why it was doing that. Um, I think that's an optical illusion. I think the ship's flying faster over the horizon than it was rotating because then once the player ship stops on the rail, then it looks like it's rotating normally.
Huh.
Anyway, I'm not saying that this is final. There's still a lot of little weird, quirky bug things in there,
Sure, sure.
um, but anyway, that's another thing that I programmed into there. And then the final thing for scene 3, I'm going to go ahead and uncheck the move with target, is I added a special gate. So we've already talked in previous sessions. I added like a gate system where when the player passes through the gate, you can set the gate to. In fact, you can see some of that stuff over here. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit so I'm not blocking it. Can you read all of this? Can you see up to change rails?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So the standard gate has things like down here, like change speed, change the look direction. So if I want this ship to like spin around and start flying backwards, like then I can just turn on look backward here, and as soon as it passes through that gate, it'll turn around.
Nice.
If I want it to change rails, I can say like, here's the new rail I want you to jump to once you pass through the gate. Things like that. But I needed some special functionality for scene 3 in order to actually build the rail system and to get the asteroid to like dance with the rail, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so one of the things that I wanted to do there is to be able to set like have the rotation speed change when you pass through the gate. Um, Also create this like seconds to new rotation, which is basically to say like instead of just immediately like jumping to the new orientation, like gently transition to the new
It's like a
rotation.
ease in and ease out kind of deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also this toggle move function, which basically what this does is it sends a signal to the asteroid and says like, hey, when the player goes through this gate, if you're if you're moving with the player, stop moving with the player. If you're not moving with the player, start moving with the player. So this toggle check mark just says like whatever it is right now, just switch it to the other thing when the player passes through this gate. So in this case, this gate that I have set up here, that's like right in the middle of the rail, you can see it's passing through there, and it's solid right now, but it's programmed to disappear when the game starts. That way, it's easy for us to see when we're like
Right.
doing the programming
Mm-hmm.
and building the level, but the player won't ever see it.
Right.
Um, so what this gate's currently saying is as soon as the player passes through here, I want you to toggle your move rotation. So if we click on the asteroid, right now it's toggled to not move with the target. So what should happen is when we start the game, the asteroid will stay where it is. As soon as the player hits that gate, it should start to move with the ship. But, and this was the thing that was really tricky, um, I wanted it to move with the offset. So if the player ship flies like 10 units ahead and then we say to start moving with the target, I didn't want the asteroid to like suddenly within one frame snap underneath the player because that would be like really jarring. What we
Sure.
wanted it to do is like once you turn it on, then start moving relative to where you got triggered and where the play, so that way if we need the player to gain a little bit on the asteroid or to come back, we've got the ability to do that.
Right.
So if I hit, let me get into like a better camera position for you guys here. So if I hit play, what we'll see is as the player uh, goes through the gate, suddenly the asteroid starts to move with the player,
Nice.
and I've programmed it to ease into that role, so it's not instantaneous because that was another thing was like when the player went through the gate before without that ease, it was really jarring to
Hmm.
see it go from not moving at all to like instantly moving
Right.
at this like high speed.
It's very unnatural.
Um, mhm. And so if we do the other way, if we set the asteroid to move with the target at the start, now what it's going to do is it's going to move with the player from the beginning, but as soon as the player goes through the gate, it'll slowly stop and let the player continue moving.
Mm.
So that's basically it for scene 3. Those are the things that I've added in order to create some functionality for us to actually build the scene 3 rail, which I think is still going to be very complicated, even with all this stuff programmed in. I guess I can actually show you the gameplay here. It's still going to be pretty complicated to figure out how to get all of that to work. One other thing that I did. Well, I can't show it here because we need the skybox to be working. But remember that problem last time where we were like, oh, wait a minute. The asteroid rotates and the skybox rotates, but the lighting doesn't change.
Hmm.
So though I thought that was going to be a big complicated thing to fix, but it was actually super easy. All I needed
Nice.
to do was take the directional light
Uh-huh.
and attach it to the asteroid as its parent. In fact, I guess I could do this here. And then if I hit play, now that directional light rotates with the asteroid, so it's locked to it. So when the
Mm.
asteroid rotates around to its dark side, in fact, let me speed the asteroid up a little bit. That way we could see this in a little bit quicker. So as the dark side of the asteroid rotates around, oh, it changed its rotation speed because of the gate. Dang it. But still, it's going fast enough that you can
Yeah.
see the dark side is rotating around with the asteroid.
Right, right.
Um, so that one was an easy one. Like all of these other ones took like 3 days to fix. That one
Yeah.
took like 5 minutes.
One thing I did want to let you know about the skybox, even
Mhm.
though it's not rotating, it's not really bothering me. And
Oh, interesting.
yeah, I think, I mean, can you press play really quick?
Sure.
Yeah, because in my mind, the skybox is like so far away. It's kind of like when you're driving in a car and in a highway in like the desert.
Hmm.
The mountains are like so far away that you don't feel like you're moving at all. The mountains are in place. Because right now the way I'm looking at it, it's okay that it kind of stays in place right now. It doesn't have to rotate with us all the time. Um, Maybe that's just the way I feel. I mean, like right now, it's not bothering me. As long as it's like moving a little bit, then it's like, oh, okay, there's something going on. There's a little bit of parallaxing going on.
Hmm.
Is the background, the far distance things don't move as fast as for example, the asteroid right now.
Right. Yes. That's true. Though, if you were actually in space and you were rotating, you were pitching
Uh huh. Uh
up
huh.
and down, you would see that environment moving in
Right.
your field of view.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, and I wonder, can I do? No, oh, wait, if I turn the pitch on, let's see what happens here if I do this. There you
Ooh.
go.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah,
So
that's yeah, it
better, right?
see, this is much better, but like I'm saying, I'm more or less saying like if we can get it, awesome. If we can't, it's not a deal breaker for me.
Got it. Okay, cool. No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. That's really good to hear.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
Captain Blueboo says, how will you integrate this system with enemies who are not parented to the Astro? uh, uh sorry, who are not parented to the asteroid object. Let me read that again. How will you integrate the system with the enemies who are not parented to the asteroid object?
Yeah, I think I know what he's asking.
Yeah.
Good question. So enemies aside, anything that it needs to be attached to the asteroid, we can just parent to the asteroid object. So if we need to put like a cube, let's make a nice big cube here. Transform 10, 10, 10. Okay, that's still not big enough. 20, 20, 20. Let's say that we want, a cube on the, where the hell is, okay, yeah, on the surface, like right there. As long as I put it on the asteroid and then click this, it's gonna move with the asteroid. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah, that's basically as though it was, um, yeah, place stationary
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
attached to that object. That's fine. With regard to enemies, because fortunately all of our enemies fly, we just put them on their own rail system, and they're going to fly relative to the rail system. So, like if I've got this player ship rail here, if I create another one and I just call it our enemy rail. And by the way, this is still something that I'm playing with a little bit because I'm looking into creating a system where the drones can actually fly independent without a rail system, where they can just fly in space, chase the player, fly in front of the player, and stuff like that
Wow.
without any rails.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I think that I can do that, but that's still TBD.
Cool.
But the basic idea is that, like, if I kind of zoom in a little bit more here, this rail system is like totally independent of the asteroid, but I can still put drones on it, and they can fly along this. Maybe set their speed to be a little bit faster than the player, so they're flying out in front of the player, and then as the player's coming down his rail, the drones are flying down their rail, and it should be okay. Um, the only thing that gets really tricky for both the player and for enemies is if we want to do something like, there is like an arch on the asteroid that we want things to fly through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Setting up the rail um, maneuvering and the asteroid's speed and rotation to sync up in the way that is necessary to get those things to line up at just the right moment, that the rail goes underneath the arch right when the arch is in this particular part of space. That's tricky, and I'm honestly kind of worried about it. I'm trying my best to program defensively to make sure that this thing, once you know the level loads in and the scene starts, all those things are kind of in lockstep with each other, and they'll function the way that they're supposed to. There may be additional tinkering that needs to be done, but hopefully that answered the question. If not, let me know if there's something that I missed there, or if there's something that I'm a potential problem that I'm not aware of. Because yeah, I would definitely like to be made aware before I
Right.
run into that.
Captain Bluezu agrees with you, Michael, that from his experience, Skybox not changing is sticking out for him. And he said that you answered his question. So yeah,
Excellent,
nice.
good question. Um, yeah, so that's scene three.
That's
Um,
great, man.
yeah,
So,
we're getting there.
so Michael, if or not if, but when I start populating elements on the asteroid, all I need to do is just, in order to parent them, I just put it inside the asteroid folder on the outliner
Uh,
hierarchy.
yes, but you in terms of like Blender and the different models,
No, no, no. I'm
hmm,
talking about when I'm in Unity. Like,
yes, when you're in Unity, yeah,
yeah,
yep,
okay.
that's all you've got to do.
It's that
And
simple.
because
Great.
what ends up happening is like so if I click on the asteroid here and you look in the transform, currently the position of the entire asteroid is it's completely zeroed out. It's right in the middle of
Nice.
the world space. But if
Right.
I like drag it over here and move it,
Uh huh.
now you see it's like negative 115 on X and positive 14.7 on Z.
Yeah.
And then if I click on our cube here, and actually let me reset that. So that's back at 0. If I click on our cube, you can see it's got some other kind of position here. If I zero the cube out, so if I put it back at position 0, 0, 0, watch what happens now. When I click on the asteroid and move him back over here, and I click on the cube still says 000.
Right.
That's because this is the cube's position relative to the asteroid.
Sure, sure.
Um, and so, yeah, whenever you parent something, or yeah, the child object of the parent goes wherever the parent
Right,
goes,
right,
and
right, right.
it everything about it is relative to the parent.
Got it, got it. Okay, cool. That makes things a lot easier to do the placement of architecture objects. Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So that's scene 3.
All right, good job, man.
Thank you. Any other questions about scene 3 before I move on?
Yeah, and this is really really impressive. You're able to
Thanks.
find, you're not only able to find the problem, but you're also able to find the solution to that problem, and you work your ass off to do it. And I appreciate that. And thank God, once again, this is what teamwork is all about, guys. Like my brain is not capable of handling such coding calculations. I look at coding, I'm just like, ah, screw this. I'm not doing this. Thank goodness Michael has smart enough and patient enough to be able to do all the programming. So thank you, Michael. And it's what
Sure.
teamwork is all about. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a lot easier to do it on a team than alone.
Mm.
Okay, so now I'm going to, for the rest of the session, I'm going to take you through the other scenes that we have in here. And all of this stuff is still very much at the stage of me building systems that we're going to use, and not really like, here's a draft version of like what the level's going to look like. I'm really hoping to get to that soon. Hopefully starting in August, most of the system stuff will be done, and I can really dive into starting to show you guys on a weekly basis drafts of the scenes, and then we can start refining them. And I was talking with Chris about this the other day. I have a feeling that I'll get most of the way there, but there's still going to probably be some stragglers that are going to need to, of the system stuff that are going to need to get programmed in throughout August. So yeah, but anyway, that's kind of the new and improved plan. Get all
Mm.
the system stuff done in July, and then build the levels in August.
Nice.
Okay, so in scene four, we have, I really haven't changed anything in here since last time. We still have this kind of like basic rail with a couple of like obstacles in here, uh, rails for the enemies over on that side. Oh, and these obstacles are all shootable and stuff. I kind of have like the inventory here. So all that's kind of like the same as it was before. The one thing that I changed here is at the system level, I've been adding new things to. Oh, I fixed a couple of bugs with the drones, where there was this weird thing with the drone health bar was kind of like it wasn't orienting towards the player properly, and
Oh,
that
right.
was kind of like freaking out. So I think I've fixed that completely.
Nice.
Um, yep, so that's good to go. And I also added a new functionality to the drones that actually came out of something else that we're going to see next. Um, Actually, no. We'll see it at the end because we're going to do scene 4 right now. Then I'm going to show you something in scene 1, and then scene 2 is kind of like the finale. It's the thing that was like difficult to get integrated, but was an important additional piece of functionality in the game. But that gave me the idea for, or gave me the idea, and also like the well, no, the idea actually came. This idea came from Chris, but the code
Yeah.
functionality came from this other thing that I figured out earlier. So this is one of Chris's ideas that he mentioned in an earlier episode where he's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could do this? And I was like, yeah, that would be cool. I don't know how to do that right now, but I'll add it to my to-do list, and maybe I can get to it. And if everything is set up correctly, if I hit pause and then I hit play,
Ooh.
and then we go into this scene, we've got our player ship here and we've got our drone. Now watch what happens when I hit unpause. Zoom.
Oh, sweet. Oh my God.
So yeah, isn't that cool? I added this like
Oh.
targeting reticle that flies in on the drone and then rotates around it. And then when you shoot the drone, it goes away.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Success.
so
Yeah.
success, I got him. So one of the things that's a little bit weird about it is, I don't know why that's appearing, uh, is I have to pause when I play because the time that it takes Unity to switch to the live game window, a couple of frames have already passed, so the targeting reticle is already like halfway to the drone. That's just an issue of the way Unity switches between the editor and the live running game.
Mm.
Um, in the game, we'll have complete uh, the ability to turn that thing on. So
Mhm.
like whenever we want it to fly in on the drone, that can happen.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So when I hit unpause, you get to see
So
that thing.
cool.
And the way that works is basically the drone has there's this completely separate drone target system that I built, and I basically gave that system the ability, or it gave or I also created a drone manager, which is like another game object that is like keeping track of all the drones. And when the drone becomes activated, it does this call. It says like, "Hey, drone manager, I need a target on me,"
Mm.
and the drone manager creates a brand new drone target. When that drone target is activated, it goes like, "Oh, I'm alive now. I'm going
Mhm.
to zoom in on my drone,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to rotate around it as long as the drone is alive. And then as soon as the drone is dead, I disappear and go away." Which makes it really so. I actually don't have to. So if I unpause this in the game right now, there is no drone target. Um, if I click up here, so our drone target looks like
Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh.
attached.
Oh. Looks like we
Oh,
lost Michael, guys. Give us 1 second. Give us 1 second.
what happened here?
We lost your video feed. Oh, okay. Michael's back.
Am I back?
Yes, Michael's back. Hey, sweet.
Wow, that was weird. Discord was just like, "Meh, I'm kicking you out of the bar."
Man down, Captain says. But yes, you're back.
Okay, great. So I basically I took the drone's health off of the drone itself and just added it to this targeting reticle
Okay.
in order to get the orientation corrected.
Uh-huh.
But basically, so this is what the drone target is like. That's the prefab for it. But I don't have any of those in the scene right now. So when I hit play, I'll go ahead and hit pause here. You'll see this drone target clone got created. Um, and it will stay in the scene as long as the drone is active, and then it goes away when the drone gets destroyed.
Wow,
And it'll
nice.
do that for however many drones are put into the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Ah,
I
that's
added
so
the
cool.
new drone targeting thing, which I thought was like, oh wow, that's a really neat touch, and it makes it that much more fun to shoot those things because you've got this like juicy
Yeah.
targeting reticle thing spinning around, and you're like, oh, I want to shoot that thing,
So,
and then when you do, it goes away. It's great.
question.
Yes.
What happens when there are multiple targets?
Uh, that's a good question. I can show you what happens.
Ah, yeah.
If we go to scene one, how do I have this set up? Yeah, let's see, drone manager, yeah, no, 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 no. Okay, so I think this should be set up. If I hit play here, we're gonna have. Uh, Wait a minute, actually, are these guys? I think I need to have these guys activated, and then hit pause, and then hit play. Yes. And now if I unpause, shoom. So
Oh,
now you've
wow.
got two targets that fly in, and they track the drones. Same sort of thing. Shoot that guy, his goes away. Shoot that guy, his goes away. Um, so there you go. Multiple drones, multiple targets.
Wait, so what if there were, huh? So each drone gets a own targeting system. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you have like design thoughts about that? Like, do you think it should there should only be one drone targeted at a time?
Uh, I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why in my mind I thought that maybe, for example, like the drones that's closer to you may have a targeting
Mm.
system.
Hmm.
So it kind of like is
Like the one
switch.
that you're looking at?
Yeah, or like your targeting system is hovering over, then it'll have the rotating arrows. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Because
Um,
in my
hmm,
mind right now, like if there were like 10 drones, then you would have 10 spinning targeting things, and
correct.
that might be a little bit visually um busy, with a whole bunch of targeting, spinning graphics on the screen. But maybe we don't have like 10 targets on the screen simultaneously. But
Uh, yeah. So I think I agree that yeah, it can get really busy. I want to show you something. Um, the where I took this idea from actually.
yeah, it's from Jurassic
Uh,
Park, right?
Not that one.
No? Oh, okay.
Um, let's see, where is I go Firefox here? Yeah, it's from this
Oh,
Stars
cool.
Trilogy Arcade.
Nice.
So in this game on when you're flying around in space and there are TIE fighters, you see how the like blue targeting
Yeah.
reticle kind of like soars in on them like that?
Yeah.
It's to
Yeah.
kind of like identify this like cluster of them. It makes them a little bit easier to see. So basically, I just took that and put it in our game.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, I am noticing how it's like animated, like it's it kind of like grows and shrinks.
Yes,
That's cool.
actually to a certain size. It looks like it starts big and then it grows to like a certain small size and then doesn't get any bigger than that.
Yeah. Wow, the blue is so subtle. It's very subtle.
Yeah,
And
I mean, do you
but it
so
works. It works.
I tried blue and red and yellow and
Uh-huh.
I thought the yellow looked best, but
Uh,
if you're digging the blue, we could try blue.
No, no, no. I will follow. I mean, I think what you're doing it works because blue is a lower value. Oh, look, your friends. Blue is lower in value, so it's a little bit darker.
Hmm.
Versus yellow. Yellow is much brighter in value. So I think that would definitely pop out a lot more for us in the game to make things a lot more obvious.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's cool. Okay, and I really like the way how it like kind of starts big and then and then it kind of zooms smaller as it kind of locks on to the enemy.
mhm.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's basically what I had done in here with getting it to like fly away from the player.
Right.
So when I hit pause here or hit play and then unpause, you'll see that it kind of like
Yeah.
flies in from the side. But maybe it should get closer, maybe it should get smaller, you think? Maybe it's like
I
too big?
maybe because right now the circumference of is that the right word? The diameter of the circle and the yeah. Anyways, the shape of it all is the same size as your target reticle. So if it were a little bit smaller, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
Maybe
I
it'll
think
make it less
actually,
busy.
can I do that in real time? Let's see if I can do that right now. Drone
Yeah.
target.
But definitely
And
definitely I think we should keep it like yellow or red or, something that is more of a lighter in hue, lighter in value, because
mhm.
space is already kind of dark already. So, um if we have blue or purple, whatever other color, it's gonna not stand out as much.
Better?
Yeah, yeah.
Still too big?
Uh, I maybe bring the arrows closer together, like not just
Mm.
not scaling them down like as a whole,
Oh, I
but
see what you mean.
yeah, like the
That I'm pretty sure I don't know how to do that.
okay, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, because this is just something that this was like a pre-made
Sure,
thing
sure, sure,
from
sure.
one of these like prototype assets that I
Yeah.
had.
Yep.
Um, but what we could do is if you want to play around with like
Mhm.
creating
Mhm.
the targeting reticle,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
give me, I'm happy to put into the game and we can
Yeah.
tweak it and play with it.
But holy cow, man, this is very very useful slash functional for the game. Awesome job, dude. Holy cow.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Because it's fun to like have those targets like flying and then have them rotating and shoot them and then see them go away.
Yeah. And
Um,
and one aspect that we can add is like when that little targeting spinning target shows up, you can actually have a little sound effects like it goes like dee dee,
ooh,
like
yeah.
dee 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 dee, like it's locked on or something.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Man, this is cool.
Yeah, and another thing we might be able to do too is have the targeting reticle change colors. Like if I'm aiming at this drone, maybe that one tur flashes or maybe when I shoot it, it flashes,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
maybe it
yeah.
turns red. I don't know. We might be able to do that. No promises,
Sure, 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 sure.
but yeah, and to give you an idea of like what it looks like with like a little bit more chaos in the screen with more drones in the picture, I can actually show you what that's going to look like because that
Oh,
takes
cool.
us to this other thing that I created, which is with the drone manager, I basically created a way to instantiate enemies. Remember how in one of the earlier versions of Scene 4, sorry, go ahead. Did you say something?
Oh no, no, no. Sorry, I was sniffing. Sorry,
Oh, no problem.
sorry, sorry.
Um, in one of the earlier versions of Scene 4, I was like, oh yeah, I need to optimize this because right now at the very end of the level, it populates in, 100 drones and the player doesn't even get there for like 3 minutes. So that's just a bunch of waste of space
Right.
or, processing power and memory. So I need a way to like load in drones and unload drones. So I figured out a way to load them in, which basically I created this gate, which is called the spawn gate. And basically what it does is you say like, okay, well, how many drones do you want to spawn in? And you can say like, I'll start kind of small, just like 3. And then if you want to change the drone HP, you can.
Ooh,
If you want to spawn in like, give me a super drone that has like 100 HP, like you could put that in here.
nice.
Um, you tell it what path you want the drone to be on. So currently, the way that the drones work, they have to be on a path. But like I said, I'm looking into ways where maybe we don't need that, and we can just have them like fly around and harass the player, with like maybe even random flight paths.
Hmm.
Uh, so I'm looking to that, and then these other things are basically just to tell the drone how to behave on the rail. So like what speed should the drone be going? What position on the rail should they start? And then also have this little checkbox here to say like if I want them to like load in behind the player and then fly in front of the player, that's what this little checkbox does. And most of what I have programmed here is set up for that right now. I I fully expect this to be completely broken if the player is like flying backwards or flying sideways. The drones aren't going to orient properly, so that's something that I need to fix. But for now, if the player's flying forward and
Mm,
they pass through this gate, it works,
nice.
or it should. So if I hit play, and now that gate I think is like right out the front door here. So once we get through the front door, or it's maybe a little bit further, right there it is. So then these drones were just spawn. They didn't exist in the scene. They spawn in. They fly in from behind the player, and they all get their targeting reticles. You can shoot them all. Um,
Those spinning thing helps so much.
yeah.
Spinning reticle. Sorry. Yeah, 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 yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, because I thought the same thing too. Like, I think the primary reason they use it in the Star Wars game is because it's so hard to see things against space.
Right.
And so, especially if it's a tiny little, black and gray TIE fighter against a black and partially gray
Yeah,
skybox, it's like, well, you need to give the player a little bit of help.
yeah. And you got to use the force because uh,
There you go.
you gotta yeah.
Another thing that is maybe not so obvious here is when the drones fly in, they're actually getting a randomly seeded position
Oh, good.
on the X, Y, and Z axis. So that way, every time those 3 drones come in, they're actually positioned a little bit differently.
Oh, great.
Um,
Nice. So every time you
yeah,
play is always different.
right.
That's awesome.
Um, because previously, what would happen is the drones would all be single file on the rail.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
so, like here in this case, you see now we've
Wow.
got the 2 on the left, and then
So
this one on the bottom right, which is a different formation than before.
yeah, so
Um,
natural. I like it.
so yeah. But what we can do with the spawn gate is we get real crazy and be like, hey, what does it look like with
Oh
like
God,
12
yes.
drones?
Yes.
And now
Yes.
let's zoom up here and see the chaos. I think it is a little bit busy, but for science purposes, here we go.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Yes.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god.
Oh
Oh
shit!
no, there's too many of them.
Oh, get him! Kill him! Oh my
Yeah, even like
goodness!
at a gameplay perspective, it's like that there's just too much HP to shoot through here. Like
Yeah, yeah.
the player is definitely gonna get shot and take damage.
Hey,
Like they're still not all gone. Like
can, can you put like 50 and
yeah, let's see.
I'm gonna see if I can break your machine.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully my computer doesn't catch fire.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
All right, here we go. Get ready, everybody. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god!
No, it's a whole army.
Oh jeez! Spray him! Spray him!
I
Oh
need
my!
a pulse bomb or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There's no way to get through all this. I think so. What actually would probably make this more fun is if those drones spawn in with just like 3 HP.
Oh sure.
Then I think that actually could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Because 12 HP is fun to shoot at when there's like 1 or 2 or 3 drones,
Right.
but when there's this many, that's just too much.
Oh
But
man.
now, did it actually override? I don't know if it overrid. That might be a bug. It's supposed to. Yeah, it's not doing the
Well,
damage that it's
well.
supposed to do.
Here's an idea. Like for
Yeah.
the 50 drones, not really
Hmm.
drones per se. Instead of drones, they could be 50 asteroids with like a HP of 1. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like blasting the asteroids out of the way, like doo, 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 and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna try, yeah, because shooting asteroids is something that I want us to be able to do in scene one.
Uh huh.
Um, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to be too difficult because I can just take some of the because the asteroids don't need to be as complicated as the drones. So I can just copy a lot of the drone functionality and get rid of the stuff that I don't need, and then we
Yeah.
should be able to also like shoot asteroids and things.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, man, that's a big cluster of drones. And I would also like to make it a little bit more natural for like the drones positioning. Currently, the programming for like where they when they fly in front of the player and how they stop is pretty rudimentary. I basically just say like, hey, when you get X number of units in front of the player, start flying at the player's speed. That way
Oh
they don't, fly past the player and keep going along the rail. We can actually have them kind of like hover and hang around.
right.
But I think what would be even cooler is if we could get them to be independent of the rail
Uh
and
huh.
then kind of like what I was saying earlier, actually just fly around, chase the player. Um, yeah, I think that could actually be even more natural.
Right, right, right.
Um,
One feedback I will say that your rotating target reticles,
mhm.
it it is actually over our ship. If you go,
Oh, yes,
yeah.
you're right. Well, hang on. I just wanted to show you here. Like, that's what happens
Holy
when you
cow!
pass through the
Whoa,
gate.
whoa, whoa!
They
Can you
all
do
kind of
that?
like spawn in there.
Can you do that one more time? Go back and play.
Yeah, yep.
They just
So
like
let me actually
spawn.
let
That's
me
awesome.
look at the player rail. So that's like 2. Where is the gate? The gate's right at 2.
Right at two.
So let's move the player rig to position. Well, no, that's 100. There we go. That's a little bit closer. So the gate's like right around here. So as soon as the player passes through that gate, you should see this giant cluster up here.
Holy!
Wow.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
It's
Um.
it's like the Totoro you probably can imagine. It's kind of like the FTL drives from Battlestar Galactica. They just like doom, 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 show up out of nowhere, and that's exactly what it reminds me of. That is so cool.
Yes, but good note about the targeting reticles appearing in front of the player's ship. They shouldn't do that. Um, Let me look into that because one of
Yeah.
the things that I had to do was I had to add another camera system. Uh, the do player. Oh, actually, it's up here under cameras because I have the reticle camera which just detects
Uh
the
huh.
player's reticle. You've got the ship camera which looks at everything except the reticle.
Right.
Uh, but I needed the targets to be on. You can't see them here because there aren't any populated in the scene.
Uh huh.
But I needed those to be on a separate layer. That way, the player's reticle still appeared on top of everything.
Right.
Um, but I guess what. Yeah, there's a way to do that. I would just have to create another camera that only looked at the player's ship, and actually, that would then allow us to have the targeting reticle for the player even appear, have the player ship appear in front of that.
Oh, okay. Good. That.
So yeah, let me make a quick little note to myself to do,
Nice.
and I'll do that.
And while you say that, Captain Blue says, so much in the game is already blue in color, so it might blend in too much. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Captain Blue Blue. We're talking about that spinning reticles. Star Wars used blue. I don't think we should use blue. I totally agree with you, Captain Blue Blue. We should stick with like red or yellow or anything with a lighter, brighter hue, so that we can actually see it. Because if it's blue, it's gonna blend a little bit too much. And he also said thumbnail right there. Oh, I think he's talking about for this video, our thumbnail it should be the 50 spinning. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh,
Oh,
that's fun.
yeah, I
Yeah.
turned it back
Okay.
down.
Good. 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 But yeah, that's very very
Um,
cool.
yeah, yep, good call. And I completely trust both Captain Blue Blue and Chris to come up with a really awesome thumbnail because all of our thumbnails I think are really good.
Yeah.
So good job, Chris.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so that is the spawn gate and the drone manager that basically manages all the. And I haven't really talked about everything that went into that. I mean, I guess I can show you guys a little bit of That's the VS Code. If I go into the drone manager is pretty basic. He really is just got a couple of like, oh, and anytime you see something like this that says public, it basically means that this piece of code is accessible by other objects than just the one that it's in. So this is the drone manager.
Uh huh.
So this is all his code. But anything that says public means that other things, if they're aware of the drone manager, can say like, hey, I want the drone manager's drone rig prefab because it's public, so they can go in there and get access to that.
Hmm.
So the drone manager is kind of like providing functionality and kind of like managing its drones. So when the drone says like, "Hey, I'm alive. I need a target," that's what this is doing. The drone manager is saying like, "You got it, buddy. I'm gonna go get you a drone target,"
Nice.
which is what this is. Create, instantiate a new target and then send it to the drone.
Nice.
And then this one is just when some other object says, "Hey, drone manager, I need some drones." So that's basically what the spawn gate does. Is it tells the drone manager, "Hey, summon a drone for me," and the drone manager says, "Yep, you got it, no problem. I'm going to uh, instantiate, create a new drone, and send that into the world."
Nice.
Um, and then yeah, and then basically all of the stuff that we're seeing in here, these are just the different functions and parameters and code that do all the stuff that I was talking about, like creating this sort of like offset and spawning in the drone and moving it along the rail and
Right.
all
Right.
that sort of jazz. Took a while to figure out all these things because there are like so many different pieces that need to talk to each other. Like you've
Sure.
got the drone manager, the drone rig, which is this sort of like outer housing that sort of like acts as sort of like the cart that the drone goes into.
Hmm.
And so then the drone is on its rail and it's got all these other pieces to it. So you've got the drone manager, the drone rig, the drone itself, the drone target, all of these, and then the spawn gate. So like all five of those things need to like coordinate and talk to each other in order to get um, everything that you just saw on screen
Right.
to happen in perfect synchronization.
Nice.
Uh, so there were a lot of
Yeah.
just hair ripping out bugs in there, like, why doesn't it work? And then it's usually something stupid like, oh, because Michael commented out a single line of code and just uncomment it, and then,
Yeah.
oh, now it works.
God.
It's just something stupid like that.
Yeah. I can't stand that. Like, it's like, oh, you forgot a period, or you forgot a comma, or you capitalized something that, or you misspelled. It's just like, oh my God, kill me now. Oh, Carol, hey, Carol, hey, how?
Carol,
So
hello!
good to see you. Yeah, thank you so much for being here and giving us a lurk. Yeah, so awesome to
Love
have you
it.
here. Welcome, welcome.
Uh, okay, so anything else on scene one before I move on to our final scene for the day?
Can you do me one favor, and it's
Yep.
solely for my purpose? Can you play it again? Because I'm actually looking for something that you and I talked about. And
Oh,
I'm
okay,
I'm
sure.
not gonna reveal it yet. Can you shoot the bots? And I just want to make sure I okay, and then you
Just
shoot.
shoot
Yeah,
to kill,
yeah,
or
shoot
what
to
do you want me
kill.
to do?
Yeah, shoot to kill.
Okay. And die.
Wow, you do such a good job of like the explosion and how they kind of disappears.
Oh.
It's working
Mm-hmm.
really. It's working so well. I might not. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit later. We'll talk about it.
We can always try it and
Yeah.
then pull it
Yeah.
if we're not happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, what you have is good, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Sorry. Please proceed, Michael.
Excellent. Okay, so the final thing I have to share today, I hope I set this up properly because if I click on that, actually, what I can do here, I'm going to switch back to this for just a second, just to make sure I don't spoil the surprise. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't have been spoiled because I tried to set up earlier to make sure, like, oh, okay, I don't want everybody to see this. At least not right away. So okay, back in Unity. So basically, what I really haven't done a whole lot with Scene 2
Ooh.
yet.
Yeah.
But I imported all your assets. Thank you so much for those.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you.
Yep, they all came in, no problem. It was easy peasy. So I kind of just similar to like with Scene 4, I just create a little like what I call a library of the assets in the scene. That way I can kind of like get a look at them, and then it's easy to just grab one and duplicate it, and then move it around to where I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, until I become familiar with like what the different names are, it's easier to just look at the one in the scene and go like, oh yeah, I want the one with the rock
Right.
hanging overhead or whatever.
Right. Oh, I forgot to
Um,
delete the texture. Oops. Sorry.
it's fine. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got those imported. I am planning to, like I said, once I get a lot more of the systems functions completed, then I'm going to start prototyping draft versions of levels, which are probably going to be similar to uh, Scene 4, but much longer. Each one of them is going to have like a whole bunch of different little moments
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, where I can then show them to you guys, and we can get your feedback and have people let me know like that moment was cool. This other moment was a little boring.
Mm-hmm.
This other moment could be cool if we did X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can kind of like uh, edit and add and tweak and adjust and do all that stuff as we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big thing that I added here is like kind of like brand new gameplay functionality, which is the timed target system. Which, if you remember from some of those Jurassic Park games that I showed you, where you have like there's like a moment where the game wants you to shoot a specific target, and so there's like a target that flies in off the screen, and it's like shoot this thing, but you have got a limited amount of time, and then the target like turns red, and then if you don't shoot it in time, you fail. Um, I added that system to the game, and so if I hit play, we
Cool.
should see it in action, and then I will walk you through what's happening. So we've
Oh,
got this
that's so
little
cool. Look at that. Oh my
yeah.
god. We're flying. We're flying here. Oh
And then we got our
shit.
targets. We got to shoot them. Like, oh no, it's turning red. I gotta.
Yes.
Ah, damn it! I
Yes.
missed. Didn't get it. Okay,
Oh
no problem.
shit. That is awesome.
All right, here we go. I gotta get these. If I get all three. There we go. Perfect. Got it. Oof. All right.
Fuck. That is
One
awesome.
more. This one's hard because there's a lot. Well, actually, get that one, and then. That was
Oh,
close. Got it.
damn. That is so cool,
Ta-da!
dude.
All right, cool. So you can imagine there being like the shuttle there, right? And the colonists are trying to escape, and you need to
Yeah.
like shoot these targets before things get too wacky. Um, so yeah, this is just kind of like proof of concept of how this idea will work. But the basic idea is to give us additional things to shoot than just drones, and to
Yeah.
create these sort of like quick time event moments. Um, and uh, and yeah, so the targets fly in. They change from being a nice, comfortable white color to green, which is still nice, and yellow, like, oh, things are getting a little bit dangerous, to an orange, like, oh no, we're getting close to the end. And then they go red, and then when you're really close to time running out, they start flashing in your face. So then things start to look not so great. Let
Oh,
me just go ahead and
wow.
replay that again for
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, can I make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Can we have this for the flying enemy bots?
We can. We can, but I think there should be two different systems
Okay, all right.
to indicate to the player that, hey, like this is because with the bots, like there's no timer. Like you take as long as you want to shoot them, but eventually there's going to be a point where the bots will shoot back. So if you
Uh-huh.
don't kill them fast enough, they're actually going to shoot you.
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering why one of these is like not turning on now.
Now this makes me want to create a bot that's like a tank bot that's like stationed on the asteroid, and it's like if you don't shoot it, it's gonna like shoot you. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like a temporary turret that they placed on
Ugh,
the
turret.
location. And
Yeah.
if you don't shoot them, then yeah.
Yes, that would be great. I would. One of the things I almost asked you for was like, hey, can you send me the spider bot draft things? I got an idea. I might want to use that. Um,
Oh,
and
that
put
is
like
so
some
cool.
spider bots crawling around on here, and so you're like, oh, it's trying to blow up the pipe. Get it?
Yeah, yeah,
Shoot that
yeah.
thing.
That could work too.
Um, yeah, but yeah, I mean, as far as like using this system for the drones, we can certainly look at either swapping them out, maybe making this one different. Because really, I just kind of like referenced. In fact, I can actually show you my reference here. Give
Time
me
cop,
1 second.
time cop. But not time cop. Time
Oh,
crisis, time crisis. Did you use time?
yeah, I think that does happen in Time Crisis.
Yeah,
But the one that I actually used primarily was
time
the
cop.
Lost World game. So actually, if I click, yeah, so you'll see like right here when the T-Rex opens its mouth, you can see these
Yep,
like
yep. That's cool.
targets kind of flying in. They start white, they turn green,
Uh
then
huh.
they turn yellow and orange and red. If you don't shoot them fast enough, then you get bitten
Yeah.
or damaged or whatever. So I remember playing that in this game, and I felt like, oh, that was just so fun and satisfying to shoot those things.
Right.
I want to put that into this game. Um, and yeah, and so it's used a little bit differently than like the standard enemies. And actually, the Jurassic Park doesn't use any sort of targeting system for their regular enemies. If I go like back to the beginning here, um, when you've got like these velociraptors appearing, like there's no target. They just kind of uh, jump onto the screen. Um, yeah. Uh, but then if I go a little bit forward here to, is it this one? I think it's the end of this. Yeah, they shoot the more raptors, and then like at the very end of this scene, uh, do, 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 do. Come on, I know it's in here somewhere. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Oh, maybe.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
I must have skipped it. Oh no, I got eaten. Um,
The model is really low poly, but it's really good.
yeah, I agree. Where did I? Oh yeah, I think it's coming. It's right up after this. They went down this slope. So then you shoot those Dilophosaurus critters, and then oh yeah, so like right here, you're driving down the slope, and then it's like oh
Ah,
rescue Triceratops. So they're used to indicate like a special little event that's like
sure.
hey, this is important. You need to do this, and you have a limited amount of time, and if you don't get it, you're dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm totally cool if we like the one that I'm using for that better for the drones, and we can swap them out. But I think that the two should look distinct. One
Okay.
should look one way, and the other one should look
Yeah, 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 yeah.
another way.
I trust your judgment, dude. You have more experience with these games, and that was just a thought that I had. But yeah, I totally
Sure.
trust. I trust that you know what you're programming and what you're doing. So you do what you think it's right. Yeah, that's great, dude.
But yeah, great feedback, and it's good to get that. And I'd love to know, like, if anybody in the chat, if you have anything any ideas on the targets? But I'd also, similar to with the target for the drones, if you want to design us a nice custom target for these sort of like timed target
Uh huh. Uh huh.
events,
Yeah, yeah.
that'd be great because I'm currently just using this sort of like off the
Sure.
shelf stuff.
Sure. Very cool.
Um, yeah.
And
So there you go.
very cool. And I'm gonna read some stuff. Captain Blue Blue says, "Whoa! This is going to be great." Kolibot says, "That's so awesome!" Yeah, I agree with both of them. That's a great
Thanks,
job, Michael.
guys.
This is so cool. I thought of a bot chasing a colonist shuttle, and if you don't shoot it in time, it will shoot the colonist.
Yes.
Yeah,
Love it.
a lot of potentials. Yes, absolutely, Captain. That's a great idea, actually. Um, Captain Blue says, "What a goofy T Rex." Totoro says, "Hey guys, I'm back. I was in a concentration tunnel wrapping up my job this week. I played that Jurassic Park game at the arcade last week. Oh, that's so cool." And Captain Blue
Nice.
says the T Rex is low poly, but the textures
Why doesn't that
makes
one
it
load
up
in?
a lot. Yeah, totally. And that's what I'm hoping to do with our models as well. Currently, all my robots, all the bad guys, are pretty fairly low poly. But I'm hoping the textures that I will use, as well as the normal maps, will bring a lot more life to them. So yeah, yeah. Thank you guys so
Cool.
much for the comments, and yeah, that's
Oh,
it's
whoa.
we're very proud of you, Michael. This all this looks freaking
Thanks.
awesome, man.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate all the feedback and all the love, guys. Certainly makes it worth doing, and you know, tearing my hair out sometimes trying to get things to work. So getting this kind of response is much appreciated.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys appreciate it as much as I do, because I'm like, oh, my childhood arcade dreams are coming true.
Yeah, man. That's so cool. Totoro says your magic will bring life to even a cube, Chris. Yes, 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 yes. That
Yeah.
yeah,
Can't
that
wait to see what you do, man.
yeah, that
Um,
makes two of us.
Okie dokie. Um, all right. So that is basically it. I mean, I could show you a little bit of like the code that went into making all that stuff, but I don't think it's really that interesting. Um, there's still a couple of bugs in there too. Like even
Mm,
just now, some of these targets aren't working. But this system kind of works in a very similar way to the drone system, where I've
mhm.
got this time target manager, which is basically an object who's in charge of a specific set of targets. So I've
Uh-huh.
got like
Ooh,
the
oh.
the very first set of targets when you first come flying in. This target manager, he's in charge of these four. If I click on this target manager over here, yeah, there you go. So this guy on the backside, he's in charge of these three. If I turn him off and click on this one, and then this guy, he's in charge of these like five over here.
Uh-huh.
Um, and there are a couple of gates, which we can see on the. Oh, is that why? Because maybe that gate is. Oh, I remember. Yeah. So actually, I programmed in the gate to be able to. I can tell it over here, like, hey, what I want you to do when the game starts is go onto this path and put yourself at waypoint number 10. So, which is actually like for making the thing, it's really helpful. Um, oh, I know what happened now. I know why that bug is happening. uh, it's really helpful because like trying to position something at exactly node 3 is actually a real pain in the butt.
Uh-huh.
Because if I click over here, like this is showing me the coordinates for node number 3,
Yeah.
but they're the coordinates relative to the rail, to the parent. So these are not the world space coordinates.
Oh.
So I was like, well, crap, how do I get that? Like I can't click it, and because if I right click here, like nothing happens. I know that I can go to the parent object, which is the whole rail, and this is like its world coordinates, but that's not that helpful because that's, over here.
Mm.
Um, so I needed a way to be able to like position the gate there because it's actually really difficult to move the gate in front of the rail system. Like, okay, well that one you're pretty close, but you can see like I kind of have to eyeball it and move it around. Like, okay, now it's in the thing, and then
Right.
maybe I gotta like do a thing like this. Um, if I could just tell it like, hey, I want you to go to waypoint 3, then fantastic. So I programmed that in for it to be able to do that. Which I was kind of proud of. I was like, oh, cool, I made
Yeah.
my life a little bit easier.
Yeah, good job.
Uh, so that's how that works. But anyway, this gate basically controls. It's got the. Well, you might actually not be able to see this because my face might be in the way. Okay, yeah. Let me hang on 1 second. Stand by. I'm going to hide for a moment so you can see this. Um, so right down here, this sort of like activate targets thing, I basically just tell this gate, like this is your target manager.
Uh-huh.
So when the player passes through you,
Uh-huh.
tell the target manager, hey buddy, I've been triggered. It's time for you to
Wait.
activate. And then
Wake up.
the target manager goes, okay, no problem, got it.
Yeah.
It goes through all of its children and says, all right guys, do your thing. and then they all fly in and they start counting down and all that stuff. And I have control in the target manager of like how much time I want each moment to take. So the very first one is only 5 seconds. The next one I think is also 5 seconds. But that last one where there were like a couple more targets, I set it to 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So you give the player a little bit more time. So we've got lots of functionality in there where we can adjust things to the specific moment.
Nice. Nice.
And yeah,
That's great, man.
there you go. All right. Any last questions about scene two or the targeting system before we move on to tavern trivia?
Yeah, I just gotta say, holy cow, you did a lot of targeting systems this week.
Yeah,
Good job, man. I think what you have created is going to be a really, really um, a solid. You created a solid foundation that will make the game a lot more fun. Because yeah, having these little targeting systems as well as that spinning targeting system that goes on top of the flying robots, I think that is going to add a lot of value. And thank you so much for taking that time to figure that all out, man. Holy cow.
my pleasure. Okay, I need to stop playing and get back to streaming. Let me switch
Yeah.
this for a second. Um, so that concludes my update for today. What I'm going to continue doing for next time, I'm gonna still kind of continue working through my to-do list,
Mm.
fixing bugs, adding some different things. And actually, if I look at my to do, well, I'm not going to go through all that right now. It's pretty long still. But anyway, that's what I continue doing. Hopefully next week will be the last big update for game system stuff, and then I can start getting into showing you guys some draft levels. We'll see a lot more of kind of like what we just saw of that sort of scene two
Mhm. Mhm.
moment. I'm hoping to create a bunch of those where we can actually and maybe add in some story elements with like some text boxes and things where you can like, oh no, the colonists are under attack by the spider drones. Take them
Yeah.
out before they get to the shuttle.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so stay tuned for all of that. Hopefully, we'll be saying more of that in the coming weeks.
Yeah, awesome job. And Coley Butt says very impressive at ML Welker. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, that's so awesome. Captain Blue Blue asks, how close are you to be able to put all these games I'm sorry. Let me read that one more time. How close are you to be able to put of these gameplay elements to make your first functional level?
Uh, that probably came in just now while I was describing my plans. I mean, like right now, I think we could start making some like draft gameplay levels, but I think there are still some additional things that I would run into where I realize like, oh, actually, we kind of need X, Y, and Z in order for this to happen. Because that's the whole reason I did the targeting thing this week is because once I got the assets from Chris, and I was like, okay, what I want to, like, the very first thing I want to program in for scene two is that moment where you're kind of strafing around a thing, protecting a shuttle, protecting colonists. In order for that really to work, I guess I could have like programmed in some drones, but I really wanted it to be a moment where there were like specific targets, like in the Lost World arcade game,
Hmm. Hmm.
where that was the thing that you needed to go after. So I stopped instead of continuing with the level. I was like, okay, well, let me program this system in. And then once I did that, that's when I realized, like, actually, I have most of the code here to just take this, copy and paste it, and get a drone targeting system
Mm.
that will, build on this thing that Chris had mentioned before, and I think will make the game better and more functional and more fun. Um, so yeah, I've been for the past couple of weeks really trying to like, okay, time to build a draft level, and immediately running into like I don't have the systems in place to actually do the thing that I want to do. Um, so yeah, hopefully next week will be the last week of like full system stuff, and then the first week of August will be some actual draft levels. Hopefully, but no promises.
I would say, having t- if you need all the time you can get to create a good targeting systems or whatever systems you need, I think that's, so much more important than, I mean, creating levels is also important too, but you know what I'm saying? Like having those systems, it's the gameplay that makes the game, not really, like levels per se. I mean, levels. I mean, you need to go through levels, but you need to have a good system in order to have it fun and functional. So, I guess
Right.
what I'm trying to say is, I would say don't rush it. If you need an extra week or two to create more systems or improve on some systems, please, do what you have to do in order to get it the way you want it to be. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, because I completely agree. Like it's in order to build the levels and get in the moments that you want to happen in them, you kind of need the system infrastructure in order to be able to say like,
Yeah.
oh, right here I want a time to target moment. Oh, over here I want to spawn in 10 drones.
Hmm.
Oh, over here, I want this thing to happen. So yeah, getting those pieces in place to be able to like uh it's just like collecting the Lego pieces you need in order to build the set that you're trying to make.
Yeah.
You got to get the pieces first.
Right.
So, but man, yeah, it's kind of a slow process. Um, Also, I want to apologize for teasing the Tavern Trivia. There's one more thing that I actually like, one more work-related thing that I wanted to do before we play. If you remember, Chris, on the last time we talked, I don't think it was on stream, but on our post session, I was like, oh, there's something that I wanted to share with you, but I didn't have it. I wasn't prepared for it, and that was like a stage progression
Mm.
screen,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I want to share a couple of references for that and kind of talk you through like what I'm thinking we can do there.
Sure.
So let me switch back to my browser. And sure, we'll start with the Jurassic Park game. I think actually right after the T-Rex fight here. So they're gonna shoot this T-Rex. Well,
Oh,
actually,
oh, jeez.
yeah,
You got.
player two got eaten there.
Oh, good. Oh,
Um,
goodness.
all right. So they've completed that mission. You get this final score screen, which is this is something that I would like to put in the game too,
Mhm.
to indicate to the player like here's how many drones you shot. Here's your doing targeting accuracy could potentially the way that the particle system works is that could be a little bit complicated. I'm not sure I can actually do that accurately, but I'm going to look into it. Um, and then yeah, just kind of like add a couple of other things in here to show like your hit points and stuff and give you a little breather so that way
Right.
you're not just like you know white knuckling the for 40 minutes straight or however long the game
Right.
is.
Yeah.
But then after you get the score screen, then you get taken to this screen, which
Mhm.
shows you
Mhm.
like this sort of progression. And in stage one, if I flip back, and I've got some images that I can show you, it stage one it actually takes place over here. So this shows you like, oh, you've progressed down to the lakeside, and then we get a little cinematic, and we're into the next level. Um, that's that one. If I go into the original Jurassic Park game, this is like the 1994 one. So game's booting up. I'm skipping forward here a little bit. And actually, let's back up. So this is the game starting. It's like, oh, yeah, it's Jurassic Park. The gates open and you start going through there. And then up at the top here, you can see their progression system. Where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, and you're in Area 1 now, and so it's flashing. And then as you progress through the game, it shows different areas are kind of flashing.
Right.
Um, this is Jurassic Park Arcade, the 2015, 2014 game. This one's got a really interesting system. When you get to so right now we're on this mission. We get to the end here. Yeah. So we get to the end of this mission. The player lands on the beach. The gates close. You get your score screen. Same kind of thing where it's like, your accuracy. How many dinos did you shoot? Here's your score. And then they go to their progression screen, which kind of like shows the actual like Jeep kind of moving from one place to the other. And they
Yeah.
have this little like diagram kind of showing because the first part of this particular level starts in this like volcano area and then it moves into this like waterfall jungle area. And then eventually you're, kind of in this abandoned visitor center area. And that's kind of like the way their progression screen works.
That's so interesting. I would actually have that flipped.
What do you mean flipped? Like do the score screen after?
No, no, no. As in the lava pit, the lava mountain would
Oh
be
yeah,
at the fourth
make
level.
this the finale,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I thought it was kind of weird too.
yeah.
The Star Wars game, this one. So the way this game basically works, So we put our coins in, start the game, and whoops, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So then you got your screen select here.
Hmm.
Then it's kind of showing you, and this is kind of interesting. I like this, and I want to add this. You've got like this mission screen that tells you like what your mission is. Like, okay, destroy the Death Star. 4 words. That's what I got to do. Got it. Then you get this little like cutscene showing the X-wings putting their S-foils in attack position. Here comes the Tie Fighters. Um, and then it does this interesting thing where it like gives you another mission screen, which I don't think we need to do too, but it's like, okay, destroy the Death Star. Got it. You already told me that.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And then the game starts. And they do the same thing too when you get to the oh, so there's actually, yeah, when you get to like the end of the mission or the like part of the mission, you get the score screen, you get a little bit of a breather. One thing that's interesting though, and that score screen right there is like a mid-mission score screen. So in several of these games, they give you a score screen even though you haven't completed the mission yet. It's sort of like you did the first part of the mission, and then you'll get another one when you complete the like second half of the mission or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And when you do the second half, you get the score screen again, but then you also get yeah, you get them. So here you blow up the Death Star. It's a hit. Yeah. You use the Force. You get the same score screen, but now it says mission completed, and then it takes you to a splash screen. Of course, after the Death Star blows up,
Right.
then you go to a splash screen that shows you know complete bonus, mission completed. Yay, shield repair. Here's your
Nice.
final score. And then you go back to the stage select screen, and so you can see how you're progressing through the game. So anyway, what I did is I made a photo collection where I basically just did screen caps for all these things, and then I'll upload this to our. Oh, this was another one that I didn't look at in the Jurassic Park game, but when you're choosing the level, this is like their level select screen. So they have basically like these 3 different missions. There's the Triceratops mission, the T-Rex mission, the Spinosaurus mission. Um, I would imagine the analogy for us would be we're currently only making one of these missions,
Right.
and it would have instead of 3 scenes, it's got 5 scenes. And then in the future, if we continue working on the rail shooter, then we can add additional missions, which will have their own 5 scene
Right.
storyline.
Right.
Um, but you pick your mission, then you play, and then you get to your score screen, and then we already saw all of this stuff. Anyway, so I just made a nice little collection of images that I'm going to upload for your reference, Chris.
Cool.
But
Thank you.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking that we can start brainstorming different ways to approach this. But I'd like to do like a score screen, some kind of like level progression screen,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
we can talk. At this point, we don't I don't think we need to worry about this screen because we only have the one
One.
mission.
Yeah.
Um, Later on, when slash if we add additional missions, then we'll revisit this. But
Right.
for now, I think we really just need a nice, sexy score screen and then some kind of progression screen like this one or this one that's kind of just a way to give the player a heads up, like, hey, good job, you've already made it through 2 areas. Now here's where you are.
Right.
Buckle up, Buster. Here we go.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay,
Score and progression. Got it. Very cool.
there we go. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me. Getting that last one out.
Yeah.
Should we do a little catch up with chat before we jump into Tavern
Sure.
Trivia?
Sure.
Give me a
Sure.
moment to catch my breath.
Nope. We are all caught up. but
Oh,
but but I can say, Michael, good job, and I will definitely come up with some few sketches for the score and progression. I think that would
excellent.
add a lot of value to the game as well, and it would be a little bit of a tease too if we actually do the which level do you want. We could have one and then have two and three, but they're kind of like grayed out. You know,
It's a big question
yeah,
mark,
it's like
like a mystery box.
maybe in the
Oh,
future if funded. I don't know.
maybe you could see the silhouette of a pyramid in there just to tease Captain Blue Blue. Like, oh
Yeah.
no, this is the Space Egypt level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that's cool. Um,
Um,
but
okay.
hopefully you guys are ready. Michael has created some questions for us this week. It is movies based off of movies. So if you guys like movies and if you guys are well versed in movies, hopefully it'll help you. And I know I like movies, but I'm not. at all good at it or anything. Captain Blue says, "I would donate for Space Egypt."
Awesome. Well, thank you, Captain Blue Blue. Yeah, we're excited about Space Egypt too. And I detect a fellow Stargate fan in our midst.
Ooh.
Um, okay, so for today's Tavern Trivia, who do we have? Who's playing today? We've got 4 slots. If we have more than 4 players, we'll split up into teams.
Mm.
But I know we've got Chris, Captain Blue Blue's here, Totoro's here. Coleybutt, are you still with us? Just give us a shout out
And
if you are.
Heavy,
That might be our 4. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
Heavy was here earlier.
Heavy, maybe Carol, Coley Butt. Can I try? Of course. So Coley Butt is here.
Absolutely.
Nice,
I'm gonna put Coleybutt in here.
sweet.
Coleybutt all lowercase.
Coley Butt, and then Captain
Coleybutt.
Blue Blue, Totoro, and actually, I would for me, I don't mind sitting out to give
Sure.
the chat a try, because I'm
Oh, I
not
gotta
so.
say, I do love watching you squirm trying to answer these
Well,
questions.
I'll still answer it, but I don't need to be on the board.
Perfect.
Yeah. Totoro
Oh,
says, "Hey guys, I am a bit distracted. I don't want to mess up the game." Okay, yeah, no worries, dude. No
no
worries.
problem, Totoro. We're gonna go ahead and swap you out. I'll put Coleybutt there, and we'll put Rando in your place,
And
unless we get somebody else.
squirmers. I'm not gonna squirm. I don't squirm. We'll see what happens. But yeah, is anyone else still wants to play? Someone take Rando's place. No, 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 no.
Final call for Tavern Trivia.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm gonna take a drink of water. If anybody pops in the meantime, we'll add you. If not, we'll get started.
All right. Very, very good. And my goal again for this week is to not get beaten up by Rando. As
There
long
you
as
go.
I tie or get more points than Rando, I am a winner.
Yeah,
Oh, oh,
excellent.
oh
So
god, oh god.
the way this works is we're going to have 5 questions. They are all themed this week to movies, things in and around related to movies. So it's not necessarily a movie. Could be movie star, could be a way a movie's made, could be any sort of thing that is like related to a movie. 5 questions. We really have unlimited time to answer them, but we don't spend too much time there. It's multiple choice, so you'll have a choice between A, B, C, and D. You just in the chat type in what answer you want to give. Once everybody's answers are in, I'll reveal the answer, and the player who gets the most points at the end wins. And Rando, he's the computer player. He's just guessing at random. So in order to make it especially embarrassing for for people who are playing. We That's why I added Rando to the game because I thought it would be fun.
Oh
All
god.
right,
Here we go.
here we go. Maximize on play. Okay, great. Oh nope, that's last week. Hang on a second. I need to go to the quiz canvas. Questions. Let me delete this. And actually, hang on one second. I gotta
Yeah, no first. Take
I
your
gotta
time.
hide this just in case you could. Yes, you would have been able to see
Oh no.
um, the answers. Quiz canvas. Lock this. Questions. Grab
Ah.
this. Put this here. This is building the suspense even more.
Oh, I know, man. Ah.
Okay, it's working now. I think. Let me turn this back on. And give me a shout out if my face is blocking the
No, you're
any
good.
of the answers.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good. Yep.
All right. Question number 1.
Oh god,
In
here
the
we go.
Wizard of Oz, what are the farmhands' names, aka the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Cowardly Lion? Extra little hint here. These same actors who play the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, also play the farmhands. We want to know the farmhands' names. Is it A, Hank, Zach, Henry? Is it B, Hunk, Zeke, Hickory? C, Harold, Roger, Fred? Or D, Jack George Curtis.
Oh God, I don't know this. All I remember is Dorothy saying, "And you were there, and you were there, and you were there." I don't remember no names. Holy cow!
Who are these people?
it's been years since I've watched seen the Wizard of Oz.
Oh man. Well, crap. I thought this might have been like a medium to easy one, but maybe I'm making these too hard. All
Uh,
right, Captain Blue Blue says C. Let's see. Captain Blue Blue is player 2. Um, can I give any hints here?
and Coley Butt says D.
Colibut says D. What, Captain Blue Blue? You've never seen The Wizard of Oz? Holy
Oh
smokes!
my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah,
That's
yeah. You definitely
it's
should.
a classic, my
It's
friend. It holds up today. Like it's still a really good movie. Even like,
yeah.
gosh, at this point, I think it's almost 100 years old.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so Colibut says D. Colibut is player 3. All right, Chris, what do you think? And
I will
what's
go.
sounding good?
I will go. Oh God, Hickory. This is weird. I will go with A.
A. Okay. Chris is player 1. A. Hank, Zach, and Henry. All right. Are you ready?
Oh
Here we
God.
go.
Oh God.
And the answer is, and
Oh God! It
it
was
was,
Hickory.
Hunk, Zeke, and Hickory. Hunk
What?
is the Scarecrow. Zeke is the Cowardly Lion. I think Hickory's the Tin Man. Yeah, they have weird names, but yeah, and nobody got it. So
No. All
don't
right.
worry, everybody. Rando guessed wrong that time, so
Okay.
we're
Good.
still an even playing field for now.
Oh, okay. Coley Butt says, bro, they treated people bad during the filming. Oh, I did not know
Oh,
that.
really?
Captain
I
Blue
didn't
Blue.
know that.
Yeah. Captain Blue Blue says
I got a cough.
it just never broke into Swedish culture like it did in America. Heard of it and seen clips of it though. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Interesting. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought that was like a worldwide phenomenon, but
No.
I guess not.
I that movie still like haunts me to this day. You know that part where the witch is like, "Go get him, my pretties!" You know, it's like, holy shit, man. That's like that's up there with some like vampire shit. It's yeah, it scared the crap out of me as a kid. Um,
Yeah, I was always terrified by those apple trees. They
mm,
look so mean.
mm. Oh,
All right.
and Coley Butt says, "Tin Man nearly died, and Lion wore a real
Oh,
lion."
wait, that the suit for the Cowardly Lion was made out of a real lion? I knew about the Tin Man because I knew that that suit had like horrible ventilation and he like almost overheated and died
Oh,
in there.
jeez.
Yeah. There's also some crazy thing too where like somebody killed himself. They hanged themselves on the set and supposedly like
What
that
the
that body is
fuck?
hanging in one of the forest scenes and you can actually see it in there.
What?
I've watched that movie a million times and I've never seen it, but supposedly that was like, yeah, something that they had already shot the scenes for the day and hadn't and didn't find the body until later.
Oh my gosh. Coley Butt says,
Yeah,
yeah, that's real.
yeah, yeah. Wizard of Oz
Whoa.
has got some crazy
Whoa.
stories about how that was made. Yeah, like well, the way they made old school movies is pretty terrifying, and because
Oh,
like there were some things where they would like it, nowadays it's like you see something happen, you're like, oh, it's movie magic. Like they didn't actually, throw that person on. That person didn't actually jump off of an 80-foot
right.
cliff
Right.
into rocks. But in old movies, they
They
didn't.
did.
They hadn't figured that out yet, so they
Yeah.
really did stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, we need a cow to get hit by a train, and they actually,
Fuck. Damn.
yeah.
Cully Butt says it was cut out later. I know all this, but not their stupid names.
Well,
uh,
you should do well for the rest of the questions today because we get a little bit more into the behind the scenes stuff. So if
y-
you know all that about Wizard of Oz, you are well prepared.
yeah, that's awesome. Blue Blue says I heard that the snow in the movie was asbestos. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh,
What?
man.
Holy cow!
That's
That's a hazard, man.
yeah. Making movies in the early days was pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
All right, next question, folks. Here we go.
Uh,
All right. Hopefully this is an easy one. At least if you're a Mission Impossible fan, like I am. Who is the only director who has filmed more than one Mission Impossible movie? Is it A. J.J. Abrams, B. Brad Bird, C. Chris McQuarrie, or D. Brian De Palma? The only director who has done more than one Mission Impossible movie. What say ye?
I'm gonna say it's either C or D.
C or D? Okay, okay. What's what's your reasoning there, Chris?
Well, J.J. Abrams, I never heard him do Mission Impossible. And Brad Bird, he's the in the Pixar Incredible guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he did a Mission Impossible movie. Or at least I never heard of him doing one. So, to my knowledge, I think it's C or D. Um, I don't know. You have a look on your face that's telling me I'm
Well,
wrong. That I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant.
no, no, no. It's perfectly sound reasoning. I don't want to like pull, to blow down your house of cards, but every single one of these people has directed a Mission Impossible movie.
Holy shit! Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me then.
All right. Coleybutt says A. All right, Coleybutt, player number 3, guessing A. Captain Blue Blue says C, because the later movies feel like they are made by the same person. That's sound reasoning.
Hmm.
Captain Blue Blue says C.
Okay.
All right, Chris.
I'll just be a copycat and say Chris McQuarrie because my name is also Chris. So
Hey, there you go.
two
It's
re
no better reason to pick than that.
two reasons. I'm copycat and my name is Chris.
There you go. Great. All right. Let's see if cheating paid off. And ding, ding,
Ah,
ding.
cheating
You
paid
got
off.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the early Mission Impossible movies were all made by like one person, and then Tom Hanks and Christopher McQuarrie worked together either on one of the Mission Impossible movies or on a different movie. I think it might have actually been Jack Reacher, and then they became like really good buddies. And now Chris McQuarrie is directing all of the Mission Impossible movies. So
Oh.
he's done Rogue Nation and Fallout.
Oh.
The two new ones that are coming out, he's doing those two, and
Nice.
they're awesome. Like I think
Yeah.
he's the best
Nice.
of the bunch. Like he's really nailing it.
Nice. Nice.
Uh,
And,
yeah,
and had I gone with my logic, I still would have probably been half. It would have
yeah.
just like half and half because I took out AJ Abrams and Brad Bird. So I would have either picked Chris or Brian, and I probably would have picked Chris because Chris obviously is my name. So there's no rhyme or reason, but other than his name is Chris, I would have picked Chris. Yeah.
Sound reasoning.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Rando got it wrong. So Chris and Captain Blue Blue pull ahead to tie for the lead position here.
Yeah. Let's go, Captain Blue Blue. Let's scrap.
Here we go.
Let's scrap. You could do
Putting
it.
Rando in his place this week.
That's right. Come on, Coley Butt. You got to beat Rando. Come on.
You could do it.
Yeah.
All right. The next question.
Next question.
Where was much of the on-location filming done for Total Recall? This is the
Oh.
1990 one, not the 2012 one with
Uh.
what's his name? Colin Farrell?
Yeah. Yep.
This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Right.
Was it A, Mexico, B, Texas, C, Arizona, or D, Australia?
God, I don't know
Have
this.
you seen Total Recall, Chris? Do you know what movie that is?
Oh yeah, it's with Arnold
Okay.
Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, his
He
there.
goes to Mars, right?
Yeah, there. His eye at the end of the movie, his eyes like pops out like because he's like exposed into the atmosphere and shit. It's like it was like freaked the crap out of me, man. It was like oh my god, and also that little brain guy in the stomach or some shit,
Oh
and
yeah,
he's like,
Kuato.
yeah, he's like, please let me in, please, please. I'm like, what the fuck? This is
That thing
crazy,
gave me
man.
nightmares.
Oh my god. Coley Butt says D for my Aussie boyfriend.
Nice, good choice.
Oh,
All right, Coley, what player 3D, Australia.
man. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Texas, Arizona, they're both in the States. Usually when you make a movie in the States, it's more expensive. And Australia is a little bit too far away to shoot. So I'm gonna go with Mexico.
All right. Yeah, you really worked through that one.
Yeah.
All right, Chris says A, Mexico.
Captain Blue says, "I explosion scared me like hell when I was a kid, and the image yeah, and the image haunted me. But I never knew the movie. Then, as an adult, I saw it, and I was like, that's the movie." And
Yeah.
yeah, Captain Blue, he also picks A.
All righty. All right. He's really liking Mexico here.
Yeah, come on, Mexico.
All righty, folks. Here we go. Let's see if Captain Blue and Chris are on the right track here, or if Coley Butt sneaking in with the right answer here. And
Grrrr.
ding, ding, ding! It is
Yeah!
Mexico.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yeah, there was a bunch of scenes that were shot, and it's supposed to be like, some future city or something. And so they went down to a couple of locations in Mexico where they had these big, like, brutalist architecture, concrete buildings
Right.
that are still there today. So you can go down there and you can see all these, like, Total Recall filming locations.
That's cool.
And then I think they filmed the scenes on Mars. Some of them they actually filmed in Nevada.
Oh,
So there you go.
nice, nice. You could do it, Coley Butt. You can beat Rando. You can
It's
beat
still
him.
at 0.
You're still zero. It's still 0-0. You could still beat him. And
We have
if
faith in you.
yeah, as long as he doesn't get more than you, you're good.
Yep, we're all winners as long
Yeah.
as we can beat Rando.
Yes. All right.
All right, next question. Doctor Sleep is a sequel to what famous Stephen King book/movie? A. It. B. Stand By Me. C. The Shining. Or D. Hearts in Atlantis.
Holy shit. I should know this. I should know this. I should know this. I should know this. Hold on. I'm gonna shut up for a second.
Coley says C. Player 3, Coley C.
I'm gonna say C too.
All right, Chris, C. The Shining.
Yeah, I'm gonna say C as well, cause my thinking is um Doctor Sleep. I even though I've never seen it or read the books, if that's actually a book. I think it's a book, right? I
Yep.
think it's the main character is Jack Nicholson's son, I think. Um
Oh, interesting.
I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I think it's C. I think it's C. Um Cody Butt says, "I think I know this. C. I read the book. I read sometimes." Well, you're much better than me because I never read. So Captain Blue Blue says B. Stand by me.
Ooh, okay, cool. Captain Blue Player 2 says B. All
All
right.
right, yeah, let's
That is locked
go.
in. Here we go. And ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
Good
C.
job, Chris and Coleywood.
Wow.
Nailed it. It
Uh,
was The Shining. And yes, I played dumb, but you were totally right, Chris. It is about Jack Nicholson's son's
son.
character.
Right.
He's the main character of Doctor
Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good. Well, at least I haven't read the book, so Coleybutt can tell us about the quality of the book experience, but I did watch the movie, and it's very cool.
Nice, nice. And Coley Butt says Danny is the son, and she says, "Let's go!" Yeah, good job, Coley Butt.
Nice.
You have
Pulled ahead of Rando.
surpassed Rando. Yeah,
Rando is getting his butt kicked tonight.
yeah, that's right. Not like last week where he tied with me. That's son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
All right. I think this is the final question.
All right, let's
So this
go.
is the one for all the marbles. Chris is in the lead with 3
Yeah, I
points
can't
this
believe it.
week. Yeah, you're making a big comeback. You're making up for last time.
Yeah, and the time before that as well.
All right, here we go, folks. Final question. The Robert Zemeckis film Castaway was filmed in 2 parts, separated by a year. What film did Zemeckis make in between?
What?
Was it A, The Polar Express, B, Contact, C, What Lies Beneath, or D, Beowulf? So
Uh.
to give you a little bit more context, so this is just a fun fact about Castaway that's not really spoiling the answer, but because that movie like is about Tom Cruise's character gets trapped on a
Oh,
desert
I
island,
I
right?
know, I know, I know, I know.
Oh,
He needed time to get really, really skinny, right? So that's
yep,
why there
and grow
was
the
a
beard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He needed time to like shed all that weight from the beginning of
Hmm.
the movie to the to the later part of the movie. Sorry, I wanted to share my wisdom and knowledge that I
You
thought
got it.
yeah, but continue. Go on. Sorry.
No, no, that was perfect. You nailed it. So the only other thing is that while they were waiting for Tom Cruise to get ready for the to make that transition, they made a whole other movie in the year in between. What was that movie?
I'm going to say A, the Polar Express didn't oh, well, you probably can't tell. You can't tell me. I want to say A because Tom Hanks also starred in the Polar Express, I think. You may or may not confirm. I don't think don't you don't have to answer that. I'm going to go A because he Tom Hanks I think is also in that movie as well. So I'm going to go with A.
All right.
Coley Butt says B?
B question mark?
Contact?
Okay.
And Captain Blue says, "Do Tom Hanks get paid to grow a beard because, can he take other movie roles in the year between?"
Hmm. Yeah, good question. I don't know because that is a real prickly thing apparently because we all know the fiasco for the Superman movie, right? Where
Oh yeah, the
um
mustache.
Henry Cavill was like grew a mustache for Mission Impossible, but then he needed to do reshoots for Superman, and so they had to digitally remove the mustache, but it looks awful.
Yeah. Uh, Captain Blue Blue says C because I think the other movies are too new.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Captain Blue Blue says C. Player two, great. Okay.
I know the Polar Express they had a huge what is it called, the Uncanny Valley.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
People did not like how that looked. So I don't know.
Yeah, Zemeckis tried a whole bunch of those like CG movies to like get them to work, and I don't think any of them overcame that Uncanny Valley
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, Beowulf
So,
too, right? With
yep,
yeah, 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 yeah.
exactly. All right,
Oh
here we
god.
go.
Oh god.
This is it. What was the movie that they made in between filming Castaway? Ding, 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 Captain Blue
Oh. Oh
Blue
man,
coming through.
we
What lies
tied.
beneath?
Good job, Captain Blue Blue.
Yeah, nailed it.
Now,
Yeah. So, and actually, yes, The Polar Express and Beowulf are newer movies.
mm.
Contact was actually made before Castaway.
Oh,
Fun fact.
oh, oh, oh.
Um, but well played, everybody. We got another tie game. Captain Blue Blue tying Chris this week, and Coley Butt
Yeah.
bringing up the rear, but beating Rando into the
Yeah.
dust, who
Suck it.
got 0 points.
Suck it,
So good
Rando.
job, Coley Butt. Good job, Chris and Captain Blue Blue.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for playing.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was fun.
Thank you so much, man. This was a great game because I was able to get some points and not suck. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Coley Butt says, "Damn, I thought Contact was older."
Yeah, Contact is on that list. That was the oldest one. I think Contact was like 1990 or something like that. Between 1990
Ah.
and 1995. It's yeah, like early 90s, I think.
Oh, 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 oh.
Um, really good movie though. That was awesome. Like I loved that movie.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
It's cool.
Nice.
It's long, but it's really neat.
Nice.
All
Nice.
right. If there are any suggestions about a theme for next week's Tavern Trivia,
More
go ahead and put them in the chat.
Mortal Kombat.
Or we can keep doing movies. Mortal Kombat? Want to do a whole Mortal Kombat theme? That
No,
way
no,
Chris
no,
can
no.
dominate everybody.
Mortal Kombat. Yes. No, no, no.
And it'll be specific, not all Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
just the 1993 or whatever it was Mortal Kombat
95. Yep.
movie.
Only
Wow,
1995.
you even know the year.
That's
Okay.
right. Yep. Directed by Paul Anderson. Yeah. I remember. Yes.
Wow.
Captain Blue says if Rando has a picture, he is a spittoon.
Yeah, yeah, just kicking Rando to the curb. He's the punching bag around here.
uh,
Oh,
Cully Butt says I didn't see what lies beneath, and she says horror movies. Ooh, horror
Hmm.
movies.
We could do horror movies. I like horror movies.
Yeah, I would suck at it, but we could do it. We could definitely do it. I will take my 1 in 4 chance of winning. Yeah,
All right, next week coming up, horror movies.
that's cool.
You got it, Coley Butt.
Thank you so much, Coley. But we it's 9 o'clock
Ooh,
now.
Swedish movies
But
for Captain Blue Blue.
oh, nice Swedish movies, and then he definitely has the
The
advantage there.
Swedish horror movies.
Oh,
Then only Captain Blue Blue will get it.
that's true. That's true. Oh, Carol. Hey, Carol. How you doing? Yay. Nice, 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 nice. But yes, it's 9 o'clock now. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask us any questions if you guys have any questions at all. Uh, feel free to think about something. And Carol says, horror movies are the best. Yeah, yeah,
Horror movies are a lot of fun.
yeah. There were some movies that's like freaked the crap out of me, man. When I was a kid, I watched some movies and oh god, I remember like being home alone at at a very young age, and then after watching a horror movie, I don't know, maybe it was on like TBS or some shit like that. I would like not be able to go to sleep. I remember watching it, and it freaked the fuck out of me, and yeah, like it
The like
was
original It with like
original.
Tim Curry, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't remember the name or anything, but it scared the crap out of me, man. I also saw this like scary like 1980s movie where like rats, like they were like huge, like humongous rats, and they would like be eating people and shit. It scared the shit out of me too. It was and they would make like chirping noises, like whatever noises rats would make, and then I would hear
Mhm.
it around the house. I'd be like, "What the fuck?" And
Ah,
yeah, yeah, and then
they're gonna come eat me.
yeah, it was not good. And the latest scary movies that really freaked the frack out of me was Final Destination. That movie
Mm.
scarred me, man. That movie scarred
Wow,
me.
really?
Yeah, it was like anytime I go on the plane, anytime I'm driving on the freeway, I can't drive behind anything like that has like a huge lumbers or anything. I'm afraid it's like gonna fall and just bash my head in and shit. Is that movie fracked me up. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Oh yeah, I actually hadn't thought about that because with like a lot of horror movies, there's like a specific threat, right? It's like Jaws is like the shark, and the serial killer movie, it's the serial killer. But Final Destination is like it could be anything. You could
Yeah.
be anywhere, just living your life, and like I'm gonna die.
Right. Right.
Like what's gonna kill me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can imagine that would make you really paranoid. I
Yeah.
never even thought about that.
Yeah, and then the fact that you cheated death, and then death is like actually is gunning for you is like fuck, I'm kind of scared. Oh shit, oh shit. Um, Coley Butt says The Exorcist scarred me. Oh yeah,
Mm,
Esker was
that's a
like
good
that
one.
was a good one. That was a good one, and yeah, that one that was kind of scary. That movie brought me closer to God. Actually, I was like, "Oh God, save me! Don't let this happen to me at all." Oh shit. And Carol says, "We are huge Stargate fans in my household."
Nice.
That's cool. Well, actually, let me go up and read. Let me go up and read. It was freaky. It was funny to watch these movie as adults. Now I was scared of Ghoulies and Chucky scared me. Yeah, Chucky was
Oh
violent as
yeah, I
hell,
remember
man.
checking.
When I was small, and then she said we are Stargate fans in my household. Yep, yep, yep. That's a up good. It's a good upbringing then. And Carol says, I wish they didn't kill Stargate. The series has so much potential. They always break stuff didn't when it don't need fixing. And
Hmm.
Captain Lewis says SG1 reminds me of how much I miss episodic series. Now sci-fi series is more like a prolonged movie.
Mm.
Yeah, I actually never watched SG1. Have you watched SG1 at all?
Nope, I don't think so. I've seen the original like Roland Emmerich, Dean Devlin film Stargate,
Yeah.
but I'm familiar, like I know what SG-1 is, but I never watched SG-1. I didn't watch a whole lot of TV, so like I didn't watch Star Trek. Um, Almost all the TV I watched were like cartoons,
Yeah.
Futurama and The Simpsons,
Right.
Family Guy,
Right.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, and the only kind of like Space Odyssey TV shows that I watched was Battlestar Galactica,
Hmm.
and yeah, one of my buddies at school introduced it to me. He's like, "Dude, if you like sci-fi stuff, you should check out Battlestar
You'll love this.
Galactica." Yeah, and he gave me like a whole bunch of I shouldn't say it, but he gave me like a whole bunch of files like, "Oh, here are all the episodes," and I watched like the first two seasons. I just fell in love with it, and I watched the series like over and over and over and over again, and the character development was awesome. The whole concept of Cylons as disguised as humans, that was really cool, and humans turning against humans, Cylons turning against Cylons, and then humans and Cylons would have to unite together to fight other Cylons. It was just like holy cow, it was awesome, it was great. The third season, it was kind of weird. They kind of got stuck on this one planet, but then they got off of it, and it's fine. It was really really good. So yeah, Battlestar Galactica all the way for me. And Carol
Cool.
says, yeah, Battlestar is awesome, yay. Coley Bus says, I thought he was funny. He was funny. I'm not. Oh, the Crypt Keeper, Tales from the Crypt, right? I remember that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, there was one movie. It starred what's that guy's name?
Oh, Billy Zane, Demon
Yes,
Knight.
yes, yes, Demon Knight. That was an awesome movie. I love
Yeah,
that movie.
I
That
loved that movie
that
too.
movie was the bomb, man. Holy cow. Cat.
Yeah, I thought that movie was super good. And there were like funny story too. When that movie came out, my sister had a friend who came from a like very uh sheltered religious family who like
Uh-huh.
did not let her watch anything but like G-rated Disney movies.
Sure.
And my sister, since she came over to the house to like hang out with my sister was like, "Oh man, we got this cool movie. It's called Demon Eye. Like, let's watch this." And so
Yeah.
they watched it. Yeah, and I don't remember what happened, but I'm sure her parent, like her friend's parents, were probably not happy that she was watching this.
Right, right, right.
Um, Tales from the
Which
Crypt
Which,
movie.
I think it's a good. I mean, my question to you is, how old was your sister's friend?
Oh, geez. Like, I mean, we were pretty young. Like, my sister's like 2 years younger than me. At that time, probably like, I don't know, 10, 12, something like that.
Okay, that's well, if it's 10, maybe it's young, but if it's 12, then it's doable. I think it's a good story. It talks about like
Hmm, yeah.
demons and whatnot, and the blood of Christ, and how that protects windows and doorways from demons from entering. I
Hmm.
thought it was a lot of fun, and it's not like super blasphemous or anything. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, right, and
But yeah, it's, and yeah, I think the situation there was more like it's a pretty hard R movie. There's a lot of blood and violence and
sure,
killing and stuff. And like
sure.
this girl was not allowed to watch stuff like that.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you come from a really strong Christian or a really strict Christian household, yeah, that movie was probably not the best one to watch, I guess. But yeah, there's like all these like demons, and I remember Billy Zane cutting his
Oh,
hand.
cool.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
spilt his blood out, and then all these like demons like like started forming from his blood and everything. Oh god, it was so good. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. But yes. So, do you guys have any questions for Michael and myself? If not, then we will call it a night. And oh, I don't want to forget because I always do. Uh, Please check out our socials and follow our all the social media platforms. For example, YouTube, and join our Discord and everything in between. Sorry, Michael, you want to say something?
Yeah, and since we're running a little bit long, maybe we do it next time. But we did also get some cool stuff in the community art gallery.
Right, 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 right.
Maybe we can earmark that and do a
Yes.
little bit longer session next time.
Here's the thing, Michael. What if we do trivia on Wednesdays, and then we look at art on
Oh,
Sundays?
yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah, cool, cool, cool. That way, I mean, that way it won't like we won't rush through it because trivia
sure.
takes time, and it would not be cool if we just kind of rush through the art. So
Sure.
yeah. I think that's a good idea. But yes, other than that, one thing I want to talk about is my tarot
Oh
cards
yeah.
are currently live in Kickstarter. So if you like tarot cards, feel free to go check that out. And also, you can check out all my stuff on the Discord and as well as the link tree that I posted in there. So yeah, so happy that it's finally happening, the tarot cards, and it's getting up there. I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful to all those people who have supported so far. And if you're unable to support, no problem. And I would just ask you to please share and tell your friends about the tarot cards that I made, and I would be very thankful. And if you do decide to support, please let me know, because since you are a Twitch family member, I will send you guys freebie pins and freebie stickers too, just for you guys. But yeah, don't tell anyone else. Don't tell anyone else, okay? Yeah. Carol says, "Yeah, art share on Sunday." Oh, okay, cool. Tarot cards, beautiful. Tarot cards, amazing. You are a rock star. Yeah, thank you so much. Carol says, "Come plug them on my Discord." Oh, okay, thank you so much. That would be very cool. Yeah, I feel bad if I didn't get your permission. Posting my stuff on other people's Discords. That's not really respectful. But yes, thank you so much for giving me the permission to do that. Really, thank you. High five. Yeah. Boop. Thank you. And Michael, my good sir, where can you find all that stuff? All your stuff.
Uh, so yeah, we got the link there. I'm still super focused on the game right now, so my social media is a little bit vacant, but I am planning to do streaming and be a little bit more active once we get the beta out. But in the meantime, if you're interested in my work or supporting me, I do have a book on Amazon called Blockbuster Blueprint, all about story, like how blockbuster storytelling works. So if that's your thing, you can check that out. Otherwise, the best place to find me is right here on the Creative Tavern every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, thank you. And make sure to check out Michael's book if you ever plan on becoming an amazing storyteller, a story writer, creating a book. This is the book to read. It's currently on Amazon for 9.99. It's a great value. Even if you're waiting for the second version, I would still say this first version is really good. So don't wait for it. I would say
Thanks,
just go
Chris.
ahead and read it, because yeah, I mean the knowledge is the same. The knowledge, I mean, it's not the same. I don't know what you're planning to put out in the second book, but the knowledge that you have in there is so useful. You, no one should wait for gaining knowledge, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so very cool.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, all right, guys. Blah. And thank you guys so much. And the next time we will stream is Sunday at 7 p.m. PST. So I hope to see you guys here. And thank you guys so much, Carol, Coleybutt, Captain Blue, Gandalf. You guys, thank you so much for being here, as well as Totoro. Yeah, you guys are awesome and amazing. Thank you. Sweet. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you. And don't go anywhere yet, because we are going to raid someone. We're gonna raid. But until then, see you guys
Ooh.
Sunday. Bye, guys.